The following contest is a submission match. On the way to the ring, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Candice Michelle. And the opponent, from New York, New York, Ashley.
A big New England welcome from Portland, Maine. This is good old JR, Tim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
I've never seen a crowd so fired up, JR. They can't wait to get started, and neither can I.
That makes two of us, King. I don't think Portland's going to know what hit it after tonight. You know, King, I'm not sure that Candice is all there most of the time.
Oh, no! This is terrible! You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum!
Well, all I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers.
Ashley's stamina is incredible! Most divas would be completely exhausted by now.
What are you talking about? She doesn't look that tired to me.
She should be. She's been running through my mind all night long. After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR, I think we'd better remind the folks at home not to try this stuff themselves.
That's for damn sure, King. The WWE superstars are trained professionals. Oh boy, the adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No, it can't end like this. Come on, do something, quick! Well, from the looks of things, it's not hard to tell how this one's gonna go.
What are you talking about, King? I think this is still an extremely competitive match that could go either way.
You know, JR, it's obvious that the only exercise you get is stretching the truth or jumping to conclusions.
Well, judging from the shape I'm in, I don't appear to be doing too much of either, King. You're looking pretty fit, though, I must say. Sounds like this crowd's got something on their minds, King.
Who cares about them, JR? Look what's going on in the ring.
These superstars are in rough shape. Fatigue has set in, and I think this match could be over before you know it.
What a counter!
This is Raw action at its finest. That's why Raw is the #1 brand of sports entertainment.
You've got that right, JR. You're not going to see this kind of action on Smackdown.
Not on Smackdown or anywhere else. There's nothing else out there that can come close to the excitement of seeing the Raw superstars perform live. What a reversal.
I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's going to go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear end first.
And Lord knows it's been up there for so long that that would be no easy feat.
Candice is one of my favorite WWE divas, JR. I loved her centerfold. It left absolutely nothing to the imagination.
I guess that's lucky for you then, King, because after hearing some of the lines you've used on the Divas over the years, I'm not sure imagination is your strong suit.
Ouch. You know, JR, if I wasn't watching Candice right now, that might have put me in a bad mood.
I've got a feeling that this has all the makings of an instant classic.
That's probably just gas, JR.
Well, I did have some good old Oklahoma barbecue before tonight's show, but I don't think that's it, King. This match is going to continue until someone's completely debilitated. And considering the resiliency of these superstars, that's not going to be easy.
That's for sure. No one in this match is going down without a fight.
And I wouldn't expect any less from them, King. Like them or not, you've got to respect the tenacity of each and every WWE superstar. Listen, mister, Ashley's more than just another pretty face. But she certainly is a beautiful young diva.
Yeah, she's got a beautiful smile. But what I really love is her...
The next words out of your mouth had better be her competitive spirit.
Man, you're the only person I know who can take the fun out of watching Ashley in action. I don't think that these superstars have even contemplated the fact that they might lose.
I'm sure they haven't. That's not the kind of attitude you come in with and expect to pick up the win.
You're right about that, JR. If you can't see yourself having your arm raised by the referee when it's over, don't bother showing up. I think these superstars have a legitimate beef with each other, JR.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with this capacity crowd is solidly behind their superstar. Look at this.
Wow, could you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced commentary? I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
I think you're right, King. These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit.
I love that attitude, JR. Go big or go home.
Well, these superstars sure aren't going home until this match is settled once and for all. What an incredible performance by these phenomenal superstars.
Did you expect anything less, JR? I mean, look who's in the ring right now.
No, I didn't, King. I had high expectations, and I'm happy to say that this match has exceeded them all. I tell you, King, I've got no earthly idea how these superstars can maintain this intensity week after week after week.
It's not easy, JR. There's no off-season. It's not like you've got 6 months to recover after WrestleMania.
That's for damn sure.
No WWE superstar ever wants to admit they've got their limits. But when you've been getting hammered like a railroad spike all match, you don't have much of a choice.
I'll be honest with you, King. This is not the way I thought this match would go at all.
Me neither, JR. I guess that just goes to show that anything can happen in the WWE.
I think you hit the nail right on the head, King. And it's that unpredictability that makes it so exciting.
Man, is there even going to be anything left of these superstars by the time they're done?
Not if they have their way, King. Everything they came in here with tonight is going to be left in that ring, mark my words.
I hope these fans appreciate it, JR. These superstars are putting it all on the line for them right here tonight. Can you believe we actually get paid to do this job, JR?
It's like a dream come true, King. Except when I have to sit here and listen to you drool over the divas.
Come on, JR. You know I'm hopeless when it comes to puppies.
Oh, I know, King. And that's why I'm bringing the pitcher of ice water out here with me next time.
There's the reversal. I don't see why Candice agreed to this match, JR. She should join us on commentary. She could sit on my lap, and we can talk about the first thing that pops up.
Folks, I've got to apologize for the King. I don't know what's gotten into him, but I bet it came in a little blue pill. Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their minds.
You sure can't, JR, and I don't think we'd have it any other way.
Ashley is one diva who doesn't know the meaning of the word quit.
Yeah, or the meaning of the words, call me back when you get this. I must have left a dozen messages for her in the past couple of days.
Look at this! Look at this! You're talking about a house of fire, you're saying right here!
Yeah? Well, somebody better put out that fire, or this one's not going to end well.
No one's ever going to confuse Candice with a Mac tactician, but there's more to sports entertainment than knowing 100 different holes.
Yeah, but if Candice wanted to learn a few, I'd be more than happy to show her.
My, what a generous offer, King. And to think, some people say you're not a gentleman.
You gotta respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers.
No question about it, King. Every superstar on the roster has had to make more sacrifices than any other professional athlete I know.
It really is like being married to your career. There's not much room for anything else.
And marriage is a subject which you happen to be something of an authority. Isn't that right, King?
Come on now, JR. A man doesn't know what true happiness is until he's married. And then it's too late. I'm not sure I agree with what the crowd is chanting, JR, but I guess it's their right.
You're damn right it is. It comes with the price of admission. Ashley is one of the most beautiful and athletic divas it has ever been my privilege to watch.
Beautiful and athletic. That's everything I look for in a woman.
You might want to improve your odds by adding blind and deaf to that list, too.
Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths are going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like when you're in the middle of a slobber knocker. And if you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the limber tape.
All right, enough. I'm getting a
I don't believe it. We might see a superstar get beat for their own finishing move here.
So, how do you think this one's going to turn out?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen here in the... You're putting a lot on the line when you climb that turnbuckle. I certainly question some of Candice's techniques from time to time, but there's no denying that she's got a fierce competitive spirit and some serious athletic ability.
Not to mention an incredible pair of legs. I wonder what time they open.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears have been shed in that very ring.
And I think there's going to be a lot more shed here tonight.
No doubt about that, King. These superstars are going to leave it all in the ring. You can count on that.
Oh, man. I'd like nothing better than for Ashley to take me home and call me Daddy.
Or Grandpa, as the case may be.
I don't think these superstars have any intention of taking it easy on each other tonight.
That's not what they signed up for, King. And quite frankly, I think these fans would be disappointed if they didn't go all out.
Well, that's easy for the fans to say. They've never set foot inside that ring.
No, but they spend their hard-earned dollars to watch what goes on inside it. And without them, we'd all be out of a job. Nothing wrong with that, King. That's what we like to hear. These These superstars are in terrific shape, and that comes as no surprise whatsoever.
No kidding. If you don't have that conditioning, you're not going to last long in a match.
You sure aren't. And that's only one of the many reasons I try to stay out of the ring whenever possible. Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really? Well then, why don't you just enlighten the rest of us, King?
No way! I can already tell this is going to be a great match, and I don't want to ruin the ending for you.
You're too kind, King. You're also full of horse manure, as far as I can tell.
Any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, you can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injuries.
And that's easier said than done, JR. The human body can only absorb so much punishment. I think I see where this one's going, JR. I don't think we're very far from the end of the match.
I disagree entirely, King. I'd bet my Oklahoma Sooner ass that this one isn't even close to being over.
That's a pretty big bet, JR. Are you sure you're able to cover it?
These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them.
Yeah, and that's where things get dangerous. If you're too proud to admit that it's not your night, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
But at the same time, King, no one makes it up the ladder without pushing themselves to the very limit. It's a very fine line to walk. And if they're smart, they'll listen. Remember, without these fans, these superstars are out of a job. I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars compete.
I know what you mean, JR. I don't think most people appreciate what incredible athletes these WWE superstars really are.
You've got to have some excellent conditioning to be able to do what they do.
Well, that's the name of the game, JR. You gotta keep moving. No dog ever peed on a move.
This is a risky move. It could prove to be disastrous. You've got to ask yourself, how much punishment will these superstars be able to withstand tonight?
I don't know, JR, but I think they're pretty intent on finding out.
They certainly are. I don't know how it's going to end, but I can guarantee you they're going to leave it all in the ring.
You talk about ruthless aggression. Look at the way these superstars have been going after each other.
They're not playing with kid gloves, that's for sure.
We knew we were going to see a heck of a match, but this might turn out to be... Oh, go ahead and say it, JR.
All right, I will. I think this one's got all the makings of a bona fide slobber knocker.
I know these superstars want to keep going, but I don't know if they're going to be able to for much longer. I thought I'd pick the winner before the match started, JR, but now I'm having second thoughts.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, King. Usually I wonder if you've even had first thoughts.
I can't remember the last time I saw superstars this fired up. I don't think they've even considered the possibility that they might not win this.
There's an awful lot of pride on the line here, King. No one in that ring wants to have to go back to the locker room as a loser.
Oh boy, these fans have got something on their minds, JR.
Well, they paid for their tickets, King, and they've got a right to say whatever they want.
These superstars are beating the heck out of each other, and this crowd can't get enough of it.
It's what they paid to see, King. They're getting their money's worth tonight.
They sure are, JR. There's no question these superstars are earning their paychecks.
I'm sure these competitors have studied each other very carefully.
This match would be over by now if they hadn't, JR. You never get into the ring without doing your homework.
That would be a recipe for disaster for sure, King.
I'd hate to be that referee, JR. Can you imagine having to tell one of these superstars no?
Boy, I think I've had nightmares about trying to do something like that, King.
I wonder if SmackDown's gonna have anything nearly this good next Friday.
I think we both know the answer to that one, King. How could they compete with a match like this? I'll tell you what, King, the WWE Superstars are about the greatest athletes you'll find in any sport, period.
What do you mean, just about, JR? Can you actually think of anywhere else that you can see athletes of this caliber?
I was just going for a little humility there, King. I'm not surprised it was lost on you. I'm not so sure this one's about winning or losing anymore. I think it's become more personal than that.
Of course it's personal, JR. Anytime you step into the ring with someone who wants to beat you down in order to win the match, it's personal.
I guess I can't argue with that, King. I just wonder if they'll be able to settle their differences in this match, or if it's going to wind up bigger than that.
Oh boy, you might...
Here's your winner,